commuters on I-69 drove on an obstacle course this morning. The message Indiana State Police had for drivers next.
A new art exhibit opened downtown today. What one artist in the show hopes to do through his artwork.
Lots of rainfall across the entire state of Indiana today, and we've dropped over 30 degrees in the past 2 hours. I'll have more coming up in my full forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jeremy Masukovich.
And I'm Michelle Kaufman. We begin tonight with a developing story as portions of I-69 are currently closed due to potholes.
NewsLink Indiana's Tyler Brummett is live tonight with more on the mess that drivers had to deal with today. Tyler?
Jeremy and Michelle, good evening everyone. Let me go ahead and step out of the way here. Today was a challenging day for drivers as several potholes did pop up on I-69, mainly between mile markers 220 and 234. That's between Anderson and Daleville, and that did cause a lot of frustrations for drivers today.
I've seen all the chuck holes, but I've been able to avoid them. I've seen a couple cars pulled over.
A smooth morning commute. Oh, there we go. You hit every single one.
Yep.
Well, not today. Drivers across east central Indiana dealing with potholes. This resulting in the north and southbound lanes of I-69 closing down this afternoon. Many drivers hit potholes, resulting in flat tires. While we were out today, we saw many motorists stranded on the sides of the road. One man we caught up with, Guy Judson, says that overall he feels the state did a good job responding.
Of course, with the weather, it's been a little difficult to respond quickly, so I think overall, though, the state's been pretty good to respond in the past.
Crews responded to the pothole mess this afternoon. Traffic at a crawl backed up for 2 miles. NDOT crews do want everyone to remember to take it slow. They even set a restriction saying that speeds should not exceed 45 miles per hour. The restriction will be in place until 10 a.m. on Sunday. As for fixing the problem, Judson says that more work throughout the year would definitely help.
Overall maintenance throughout the entire year, not just wait one time a year. The barricades going throughout the entire state just gets overwhelming. So I think if we just did maintenance all year round, it'd help.
Now, Judson did tell us that he was actually coming back from Fort Wayne. He told us that his drive actually wasn't that bad. Now, as for those NDOT crews, they're actually out here tonight, and they will be out tomorrow fixing those potholes, and they're hoping that Monday morning's commute can be a lot smoother. But for now, live in Yorktown, Tyler Brummett, NewsLink Indiana.
Tyler, thank you. To report potholes, you can go to INDOT's website, indotforyou.com. Now, I know, Michelle, you had to drive to Indianapolis today, so I'm sure you might want to report some of those potholes that you saw earlier.
Yes, they were all over both the north and southbound lanes of I-69, and I did quite a bit of swerving. And what also swerved today was the temperatures and the wind. I noticed those really pick up throughout the day. So, Peyton, what can you tell us about that, and what will it be like for the rest of the day?
Unfortunately, guys, yes, Indiana rain and the cool down right here, but we are looking at radar right now, and this system is now well pushed off to the north and east, and this will not impact us. Yes, campus is damp, and temperatures are the big story. We have drastically dropped over the past couple of hours. It's now 36 degrees, but the wind, that's the big factor here. It does feel like 24 degrees, so it feels 10 degrees cooler. So if you're headed out and about tonight, you're going to want that additional jacket. Now we're going to talk even more in my full forecast coming up about these cooler temperatures and the potential for a flash freeze as these continue to further downward. And the big story are these gusty winds. Wind speeds could reach up to 45 miles an hour. So again, a drastic change from this morning to now. I'm going to have more coming up in my full forecast.
Peyton, thank you. Now, as she just told us, we can expect more cold weather ahead this week as well. We won't be anywhere near those record-breaking temperatures we saw last week, but it will still be cold. Now, Frog Baby has defrosted from the sub-zero temperatures last week, and her ice dress has melted, as well as cars have had a much easier time navigating McKinley Avenue without all of the ice. Now, we're not expecting temperatures this weekend to be as brutal as they were last week, so we're not expecting any other class cancellations, which will allow students to stay on track with their work. And that work can easily stack up on off days.
Okay, so I have very fast-paced moving classes, as I'm sure everyone else does. So every day is set out to be like a specific course and material covered. So it was very crucial for us to learn that material that day, and we had to kind of teach ourselves so we could stay on track.
And it'll be easier for students and professors to stay on track for the rest of this winter as well, as another polar plunge is not in the forecast anytime soon.
A 9-year-old Muncie boy is dead after a house fire early this morning. Firefighters were called to the scene at 3:45 in the morning to find flames raging inside the household. Delaware County's coroner pronounced Vincent Gibbons dead at the scene at 5:30 this morning once crews eventually found his body. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. 3 women suing USA Gymnastics over alleged sexual abuse by sports doctor Larry Nassar expressed frustration in its meeting with Chief Financial Officer due to their lack of answers during the meeting about the group's bankruptcy proceedings. USA Gymnastics filed Bankruptcy 11 in December. In Chapter 11 proceedings, creditors can confront the debtor early in the process. Rachel Den Hollander questioned Schollenbarger about the group's assets and the number of Chapter 11 protection claims filed by Nassar's victims.
Billionaire and former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz was in Indiana and spoke at Purdue University earlier today. Schultz's speech on policy ignited when he began to discuss the views on the two-party system. He went on to say that President Trump's time in office must come to an end.
Now, there are critics who condemn me for even thinking about running outside of the two-party system for fear it would lead to President Trump's re-election. Respectfully, here's my response to that. Trump must not serve a second term.
Schultz has made several statements while on tour expressing his strong consideration to run for president, but no official announcement has been made.
The acting attorney general may bypass Capitol Hill's hot seat Friday. Acting AG Matt Whitaker is slated to appear before the House Judiciary Committee Friday for an oversight hearing. But Thursday, the Justice Department gave the committee an additional condition to Whitaker's testimony. In a letter, it said Whitaker wants written assurance that he will not be served with a subpoena if he avoids questions from lawmakers. The committee authorized the subpoena in advance in case they would have to use it. The DOJ sent a letter to Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler with Whitaker's request and questions he was prepared to answer. They say Nadler has until Thursday evening to send in his written response.
Retailer Sears will live another day. A New York judge has approved a $5.2 billion plan to keep stores open. However, not all Sears locations will remain open. A new business plan shows the company anticipates closing 36 more of its Kmart stores by the end of the year. Sears and Kmart currently have about 1,000 locations. A hedge fund owned by Sears chairman Eddie Lampert is offering to rescue the company, but creditors want Sears liquidated, even though the judge has indicated he would like to save some 45,000 jobs. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos says a tabloid is threatening to publish revealing photographs of him unless his private investigators back off. Bezos is accusing the National Enquirer of extortion and blackmail. They published a story last month that included text messages between Bezos and a former TV anchor. Private investigators have been looking into how the Enquirer got those messages. Bezos says the Enquirer's parent company tried to get him to agree to a deal for the tabloid to not publish the photos. As part of the deal, Bezos would have to release a public statement that he has, quote, no knowledge or basis to suggest the report was politically motivated.
One Ball State music group will get their first opportunity to perform on a national stage. More on that after the break.
And after 3 decades, a top Ball State administrator is retiring. Find out who it is next.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone?
No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
The cold weather makes for perfect time to sit inside and listen to some music. The Ball State Symphony Orchestra left early this morning for a big performance coming up this weekend. NewsLink Indiana's Isabel Kristowiak has more.
The Ball State Symphony Orchestra was accepted to perform at the College Orchestra Directors Association National Conference. This is the first national conference the orchestra has been invited to. The orchestra is conducted by Douglas Drosty. He shares his favorite part about being able to have this experience.
Sharing this experience both musically and also non-musically. Groups that travel together get to know each other better, and I think in the end that allows them to perform better together.
Drosty also conducts the opera productions and oversees the orchestral conducting program. The orchestra began their journey to Boston this afternoon. Senior clarinet player Rachel Jordan tells us her thoughts on this experience.
Really awesome. Being in the ensemble for 4 years, it really means a lot to see it be successful and grow. And I just am excited for the opportunity and can't wait.
The orchestra will be making 2 stops, one in Pickerington, Ohio, and another in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to perform their set at 2 high schools. The travel group will include 97 students. One, a 5th-year violinist, tells us his favorite part about being a member in the Ball State Orchestra.
My favorite part is really just getting to play all these pieces that I grew up listening to, like hoping and dreaming for the day I'd actually get to play them, like, you know, the Planets, for example. The Planets is what made me fall in love with classical music, and just the opportunity to get to play it is just amazing.
In Muncie, Isabel Kristowiak, NewsLink, Indiana.
The orchestra will have their final national performance at Mitz Kresge Auditorium on Saturday, February 9th at 1 p.m. For more information, you can visit codaweb.org.
Ball State's senior advisor to the president is retiring. Marilyn Buck will retire at the end of this academic year. President Mearns announced the change in an email to faculty today. Now, in addition to being President Mearns' senior advisor, she is the liaison to Muncie Community Schools. She has served Ball State for over 30 years. No replacement for Buck has been named.
First Thursday just wrapped up in downtown Muncie, but some high schoolers' artwork will be showcased for the rest of the month. Made in Muncie put up a photo gallery exhibiting photography by 3 seniors from Monroe Central High School. The photo gallery is called 3 Visions and shows various styles of photography from the students. Zane Keir wants his artwork in the exhibit to inspire visitors.
I hope that people coming in and seeing that high school students doing shows like this for the public audience really helps inspire others to, take on photography, and it shows them that really you can do it if you really put the work into it.
Anyone interested in seeing the 3 Visions exhibit can visit Made in Muncie, located downtown from now until the end of February. Now, it's this time of year where we're thankful for these inside exhibits because these crazy temperature switches. Peyton, what do we got coming up?
You know, these temperatures are actually only going to plummet throughout the entire evening and into tomorrow morning, but I'll have more on the cool down coming up after the break.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySineseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back. Now, Peyton, I know today we saw cold temperatures and rain. Is that something that's going to continue?
You know, Michelle, we did see a lot of rain, and the cold temperatures are going to further down. I know it's not probably what we wanted to see, but we are going to be seeing that throughout the entire evening as well as tomorrow morning. Now, over the last 10 hours across McKinley Avenue, we've seen again a lot of rainfall, and this is going to be the story. As temperatures are now really cold, we have seen the rain stop. But the main issue with this is going to be, we're going to be seeing a lot of flood warnings pop up. Now we have a couple within Madison, Delaware, and Randolph County until Sunday this weekend. But the big story coming up are going to be these wind gusts. We're seeing winds all across the state of Indiana, well within the low 30s to even 41 miles an hour right here in Terre Haute. And this is going to continue as a wind advisory is in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now looking at radar, we're going to be seeing this system again pushing well off to the northeast, nothing impacting the state of Indiana at the moment, which is much needed relief that we have seen. And now within the rain, we have seen it all day today, and I'm sure you don't want to see any more of it. We're going to be taking a break from it, and we will see some sunshine, but our next chance for some of this rain or snow mix right here on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So you can put the umbrellas away for a little while. As noted, we did have the rain gear out today, but you're probably going to want the winter gear now. Across our viewing area, we're seeing temperatures well within 30 degrees, 36 degrees in Muncie, 33 degrees in Anderson, and 32 degrees in the great state capital of Indianapolis. Now temperatures are only going to further down. We're going to be seeing the teens tonight, 14 degrees. Again, the precipitation has ended and temperatures have dropped. Now the wind, again, the big factor if you're headed out and about, layer up as it's going to be needed. Now tomorrow morning you're going to wake up in the teens once again, 8 a.m. here, 14 degrees. And we're only going to reach 20 degrees by 5 p.m. 21 will be our high temperature well within the afternoon hours, but the sunshine is the big story. But keep the layers heavy tomorrow as those temperatures will be cool with the wind speeds in effect. Now this weekend again, well around freezing, and the next chance for some precipitation is going to be on Sunday. Now we're going to be seeing temperatures not leave the mid 30s to mid 40s all the way through Tuesday. Tuesday's going to be our hot spot of only 44 degrees, and for any of you Valentines out there, we're going to have cloudy skies on Valentine's Day, so love might be in the air, but warmer temperatures are not, guys.
Yeah, it seems like every time we escape these cold temperatures, they just have a way of keep coming back.
Yeah, so
let's find out what's going on in sports.
Well, coming up, it's been a pretty eventful day. Ball State had a men's volleyball game here at home tonight, and we've got highlights. Also, softball season is around the corner, and find out why this year's team may have high expectations. Up next.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero. After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Andrew Sanders with sports. Tonight, Ball State's men's volleyball team is taking on their second MIVA opponent of the year. The Cardinals are playing host to the McKendree Bearcats as they try to extend their winning streak to 5 games. However, head coach Joel Walton said no wins this season are going to come easy to the team.
We're going to have to go out and earn every victory, and that's one of the things we're just trying to get our guys to understand is they have to be consistent in their focus, consistent in their effort. Because if we're going to get a win on a given night, it's going to be what we are willing to step on the court and work for and earn.
Now, Ball State would be missing a key player tonight. Junior setter Jake Romano is out with a wrist injury. Filling in for him was sophomore Quinn Isaacson. Now, Romano is this team's assist leader so far this season, and it's not even close, accounting for over 75% of the team's assists. Missing a player who has such a large role had the expected outcome as Ball State would struggle early on, losing the first set to McKendree 25-23. The Cardinals would be able to force a couple of extra frames in the second set, but would drop that one as well on their way to a 3-set loss. Now for the visitors, Will Frank was a key performer, leading the team in kills with 14. On the Ball State side of things, Matt Shevs tacked on 17 kills, and Quinn Isaacson contributed 43 assists in his relief effort. Now they'll have a few days to reboot before hosting 13th ranked George Mason this Sunday. Moving on to Ball State softball, however, they've got some great news as their season is about to get underway, and the MAC preseason polls were finally announced. The Cardinals were picked to finish first in the MAC after receiving more first-place votes than all other MAC teams combined. Ball State was also picked to finish first in the MAC postseason with 7 votes in the preseason poll. The key factor that led to their high preseason standing was the return of 2 2018 first-team All-MAC players. Pitcher Aisha Miles and outfielder Haley Dominique were both top tier in their respective positions last year and plan on leading their Cardinals throughout the season. The first pitch of Ball State softball's 45th season is set for tomorrow in Fort Myers, Florida, against Long Island University of Brooklyn. And shifting the focus to Ball State football, the Cards bolstered their recruiting class today with 2 new additions. Chandler Cright and running back Walter Fletcher will join BSU on the gridiron this fall. Ball State is hoping Fletcher, a grad transfer from Division II Edinboro University, can help fill the void left by last year's starting running back James Gilbert. Fletcher set his school's single-season rushing yards record last year on the way to being named Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference West Player of the Year. Try fitting all those words on the trophy. Chandler Cright is a 2-star recruit out of Lebanon, Tennessee, who won Wilson County Player of the Year. Now, Cright played both quarterback and defensive back in high school, but is listed as a DB on Ball State's official list of signed recruits. And the 2019 signing class for Ball State has now reached 19 players. Coach Mike New and the team will begin practices in just over a month, with the first one being scheduled for March 14th. So I know it seems like football season, you guys might have just wrapped up. We just got through Super Bowl weekend, but Spring practices are starting sooner than you think, so already looking forward to the next season for Ball State.
Wow, and with 19 new recruits, I'm sure Coach New and really the whole team are already thinking ahead to next season, really all year, not just in the fall.
Got to worry about how to integrate those new guys and make sure they play the best they can.
All right, guys, coming up, a look at the brand new poster from Jordan Peele's next horror film.
And some exciting news about Ariana Grande. All that and more next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Joel Riley. Joel, what do you have for us?
Hi guys, good evening, and good evening to you all who are watching. Well, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Valentine's Day is just 1 week away. However, for Jordan Peele, he might be skipping this holiday and jumping straight to Halloween. Known for his work on the critically acclaimed horror film Get Out, Peele has released a new poster for his upcoming horror film, Us. The poster shows actress Lupita Nyong'o taking off a mask of her own face with the caption, "Watch yourself." Us is about a family who visits a beach house where the mother, Lupita's character, grew up. Her worst fears come to life when her and her family are then haunted by 4 masked strangers who look exactly like each family member. Us will be hitting theaters on March 22nd. And moving on to something a little more lighthearted and sweeter, or should I say, sweetener. For all you Arianators, you are in for a treat because Ariana Grande's new album, Thank You Next, is dropping tomorrow. Almost 7 months after the release of her previous album, Sweetener, fans have been highly anticipating the pop star's next album. The album will consist of 12 tracks, including the hit title track, Thank You Next, Imagine, and 7 Rings. Grande's album will be released digitally and in stores tomorrow and will be available on vinyl records on May 10th. Now, I have to say, I saw Get Out several times, and every single time I saw it, I was always left with chills. So I am very intrigued, curious, and a little scared to see what Us is going to bring. I really want to know what that film's going to do.
I'm more interested in Ariana Grande.
Yeah, are you guys going to buy the album?
Oh,
do you think you're listening to it as
she's
well?
made a lot of noise.
I was over here dancing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I think I might get it. I honestly think I might get the album. Sweetener is probably my favorite album by her so far, so I think I might give it a shot. 7 Rings and Thank You Next we can put to the side. We got a whole album here now. We got 10 more tracks, so I think I might give it a listen.
Okay, Peyton, let's finish it off with letter. What do you got?
Yeah, I know, right? Thank You Next this weekend, but cold temperatures for sure. 22 degrees tomorrow, so bundle up. And next week we're going to be right around average for this time of the year. Winter is back in session.
Great.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at 9, streaming live on NewsLink Indiana's Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.